Okay, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, you're able to hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will discuss about harmonic progression and basically rest of the theory about progressions today, and I will clarify doubts at the end of that maybe. Okay. Harmonic progression is relatively easier. One of the reason is there are not many formulas there. Okay. Basically, what is harmonic progression? You take an arithmetic progression where no term is zero, all non-zero terms, and take their reciprocals. Okay, we say they're harmonic progression. Or if you want to call a set of numbers are in harmonic progression, their reciprocal should be in AP. That is the only condition. Okay. So H1, H2, H3, so on are said to be in HP if 1 by H1, 1 by H2, 1 by H3, so on are in AP. That's all. That is the only definition for HP. And we have a formula for nth term. That is because you take the reciprocals, find the nth term in AP, and then put it back. We don't need any formula as such, but if somebody still wants, let us take H1 and H2 and H3, so on. How will you find the nth term? First term of AP will be 1 by H1. Common difference of AP will be 1 by H2 minus 1 by H1. And then from this, the nth term of AP will be 1 by H1 plus n minus 1 into 1 by H2 minus H1. And for harmonic progression, the nth term will be reciprocal of this. So Hn will be 1 by H1 plus n minus 1 into 1 by H2 minus 1 by H1. We don't need this formula. Okay, I'm just telling if at all somebody needs it or you want to have a formula. Best is take the reciprocals, find the nth term of AP and take reciprocal of that back. You will get the nth term of the harmonic progression. We don't have any formula for sum of n terms. That is simply because 1 by a plus 1 by a plus d plus 1 by a plus 2d, 1 by a plus 3d and all. There's no way that we can have one simple expression. Okay. It is not that we take sum of n terms of AP and take reciprocal of that. That is not correct. One may ask why it is not correct. It is like as good as asking 1 by a plus 1 by b plus 1 by c plus 1 by d. Is it a plus b plus c plus d? No, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we cannot take reciprocals, find the sum, and then take reciprocal of that back. It is not that. Okay, these two are not same. As simple as that. So there is no sum of n terms formula. Okay, and also we don't have any such relation that sum of these two is same as sum of these two are product. If at all you want, the reciprocal sum of these two, sum of reciprocals of these two, sum of reciprocals of these two are same. It is as good as it. Okay. But harmonic means we can find in setting harmonic means that we are going to discuss. That is also like AP only. We'll take reciprocals and use AP formula and then reciprocal back. One thing I always like in revision is I don't have to give any notes. I can explain. Okay. Even when I teach first time also generally I don't feel like writing all the definitions and all that. I don't have patience like other maths teachers where they write proper definitions on the board. By the way, what happened to other track? You finished the syllabus or still it is going on?
Yes,
Today only it's completed.
Today.
Yes.
Okay.
From Monday you will start it.
Okay. All right. When I was studying, whenever some syllabus is over, we used to clap. It's a great celebration that syllabus is over. Yes.
Sir, we missed, sir.
Okay. Chemistry, what happened? Chemistry also over?
No, sir.
No,
Sir, there. And
Okay.
one
How
is
much?
ongoing.
Okay. So
1 month maybe.
another 1 month. Okay. All right. Where are we now? Yeah. So I have A and H1, H2, H3, so on, Hn minus 1 and Hn and B are in harmonic progression. Between A and B, I kept n numbers such a way that the total is a harmonic progression. Then I say I inserted n harmonic means between A and B. How to find them? 1 by A, 1 by H1, 1 by H2, 1 by H3, 1 by Hn minus 1, 1 by Hn, 1 by B are in AP. Okay. Now, if you want to find H1 or H2 or H3, these are like arithmetic means now. You can use the formula or you can use that section formula that I said. If somebody wants 1 by H1, it will divide, this is 1 and this is n parts. So, I will be getting 1 into 1 by B plus n into 1 by A by 1 plus n. So, correspondingly H1 will be n plus 1 by 1 by B plus n by A. Somebody can even take LCM and also write n plus 1 into AB by A plus NB if they want to. Okay, you can remember this, or just remember the process also. 1 by H2, if somebody wants by section formula, this is 2 parts, this is n minus 1 part. So 2 into this, n minus 1 into this. So 2 into 1 by B plus n minus 1 into 1 by A by n plus 1. So from that, H2 will be n plus 1 by 2 by B, n minus 1 by A. You can still write if you want as n plus 1 into AB by 2A plus n minus 1 into B. In general, if somebody wants to know kth harmonic mean, it should be k here and n plus 1 minus k there. So k into 1 by B plus n plus 1 minus k into 1 by A by n plus 1. So if you want hk, take reciprocal n plus 1 by k by B plus n plus 1 minus k by A, or n plus 1 into AB by KA plus n plus 1 minus k into B. Okay, so I'm not necessarily saying by heart these formulas. Section formula means you don't have to remember, you can easily do it. If not, there is a proper procedure also. We'll discuss even that. All these points are there in the synopsis. Okay. Otherwise, yes, please.
Sir, one doubt means sum of harmonic there, no, sir. We can take like 1 by A plus xd function and integrate it till n, no, sir.
No.
Not
Integration is a continuous sum. This is a discrete sum. You understand, right?
Means we can divide it like area 1 into means.
No. When n is tending to infinity, what you are saying? Okay. If I ask this area, okay, sum of this area plus this area plus this area, you cannot say it is this area. No, they are not same, right?
Means not correct, sir, but approximating I want.
Yeah, the approximate value it will give. That is, if at all, I'm sure. Anyway, in inequalities, Patnaik sir will teach. It will come once again. It actually should have been in definite integrals also in Riemann sums itself, but in inequalities, Patnaik sir will teach. And even in the KVP, where recently we discussed in one of the questions, 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2, so on up to, let us say, 1 by 1 crore. Okay. I'm not interested in the exact value, but I want to know is it near 20 or 30 or 100. I can use Riemann sums, find it is between two particular values.
Yes.
Okay. Not only this, any other, lot of questions are there. Okay. If you don't want to do this way by section formula and all, reciprocals are in AP. This is the first term of AP. This is the second term. This is the third term. This is n plus 2th term of the AP. So 1 by b, which is n plus 2th term, will be 1 by a plus n plus 2 minus 1 into common difference. So the common difference is going to come 1 by b minus 1 by a by n plus 1. Once you know common difference, if you want any term, you can easily find. So if you want 1 by hk, kth harmonic means reciprocal. In this series is not kth term, it is going to be k plus 1th term, which is 1 by a plus k into common difference, which is 1 by a plus k into 1 by b minus 1 by a by n plus 1. If you still, this is k. If you want to simplify or take LCM or something, or at least split it, you are going to get, take LCM and take 1 by a common. You get 1 by a into n plus 1 minus k plus k by a by n plus 1. Reciprocal of that is kth harmonic. So somebody can use first term and last term, find a common difference in terms of n plus 1. Any harmonic mean or arithmetic mean that they want, you have to add 1 to it. If you want fifth arithmetic mean, it is sixth term in this series. Okay, we're done arithmetic means itself. That's it. If we take reciprocal, it is n plus 1 by n plus 1 minus k by a. Something wrong there. This is k by b. Okay. And k by b. Okay. So I have done by section formula. Here I have done by the proper usual procedure. Either way, it's all finding. Basically, finding harmonic means or arithmetic means or geometry means nothing great. It is like in a big series, first term and last term are given. Some in between terms we are finding. That's all. Nothing. It's not a separate topic as such. But there is one particular relation between arithmetic means and harmonic means. I want to tell that. And this solution also I want you to write it because I may not have written in synopsis with the solution. Between A and B, I want to insert n arithmetic means. A, A1, A2, A3, so on up to AN. They are in AP. And between same A and B, I want to insert n harmonic means. H, H1, H2, so on up to Hn and B. They are in harmonic progression. So between A and B, I inserted an arithmetic means. Between same A and B, I inserted an harmonic means. Okay. What is the relation? Sometimes somebody can have a doubt. Arithmetic means are fairly simple on the number line. Between A and B, make n equal parts. This is the first arithmetic mean, the second arithmetic mean, this third and all that. Not n equal parts, n plus 1 equal parts, but n lines. Okay. So arithmetic means are easy to see. When I insert geometric means, where are they? Somebody may have doubt about it. Okay. For that, harmonic means also somebody can ask where are they. So let me see what I'm going to do. Harmonic means I'll give a graphic picture. I think that is going to help in the proof of this also. Okay, let me finish this, and when we discuss one or two more methods, we'll come back to that topic. That is, when you insert n arithmetic means and n geometric means and harmonic means, how they are equally placed, and which arithmetic mean is which is greater than, and things like that. Okay. Now, to find a relation between kth arithmetic mean and kth harmonic mean, I'm going to make some arrangement here. I'm going to take reciprocals here. 1 by A, 1 by H1, 1 by H2, and 1 by H3, so on. 1 by Hn and 1 by B are in AP. Okay. I'm going to multiply with AB everywhere. In an AP, you multiply with anything, they'll be still in AP only. So multiply with AB. When you multiply with AB, this is going to become B. This is AB by H1, AB by H2. Just a minute. Copy this and think about it. So I'm going to multiply with AB everywhere. So AB by H3, so on up to AB by HN, and this is A. I multiply with AB. Whenever some numbers are in AP, they reverse the whole series also, they will be in AP, right? You will go from left to right or from right to left, they are in AP. If these are in AP with common difference D, these are in AP with common difference minus D. So I'm going to reverse the whole thing. All right. I don't know how to, you can write like this or something. Reverse the whole thing. A here, AB by HN here, AB by HN minus 2 here, AB by HN minus 3 here. And here AB by H1 and here B are in AB. Look at first line and this line. First time of AP is same. Last time of AP is same. In between exactly n numbers are there. Here also n numbers are there. Should this AP and this AP be exactly same or should they to be different? They should be same.
Same, sir. They should be same.
Yeah. So the first element here should be same. So we'll get A1 equal to AB by HN, which is A1 H1 equal to AB. So when you insert n arithmetic means between A and B and n harmonic means between A and B, the first arithmetic mean and the nth harmonic mean, the product is always same as AB. Is it all right?
Yes.
Similarly, if I take kth arithmetic, I can do 2 here and let me write this for the sake of A2 here, AB by Hn minus 1. That is also same. A2 into Hn minus 1 is AB. Similarly, AK and AB by H n plus K minus 1 or n plus 1 minus K, sorry. N plus 1 minus K. So AK, kth arithmetic mean, n plus 1 minus kth harmonic mean. That is equal to AB. Okay, that is one property. That from this you take third arithmetic mean, and from here you take third harmonic mean. The product is constant. That's what is the basic point. Okay, this you should copy everybody, and if any doubt, please ask. Between same two numbers, if you insert n arithmetic means and n harmonic means, the kth arithmetic mean and n plus 1 minus kth harmonic mean, the product is always constant. AB. Same thing I want to prove it in one or two other ways also, will prove it. Okay, anybody any doubt here? No. I'm going to erase this part. You want some time, anybody?
Sir, 1 minute.
Okay. If anybody doubt also, you can ask. if you're not understood in particular thing.
Sir, fifth line is there, no?
That's fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, correct.
In the third one, you wrote hn minus 2, sir. First.
Oh, okay, that should be wrong. This is hn minus 1 and this is n minus 2. Yes. Thank you.
Sir, completed.
Okay. Okay, another way to prove the same thing is we have a formula already for kth arithmetic mean. In arithmetic progression we discussed. I don't have to by heart. I know it will divide in the ratio k is to n plus 1 minus k. So kth arithmetic mean formula is k into b plus n plus 1 minus k into a by n plus 1. And 1 by kth harmonic mean, we have a formula that it is k into 1 by b n plus 1 minus k into 1 by a by n plus 1. Okay. I cannot, when I multiply these two, I don't think I'll get constant because this is kb and this is I have ka. So instead of finding kth harmonic mean, I want to find n plus 1 minus kth harmonic means reciprocal. Then what happens? I'll be getting here n plus 1 minus k into 1 by b, here k into 1 by a by n plus 1. When I take LCM, this is kb plus n plus 1 minus k into a by ab into n plus 1. Now we can see when you take this and take reciprocal of this is h into n plus h plus 1 minus k harmonic mean is ab into n plus 1 by kb n plus 1 minus ka. When you multiply these two, you can see the numerator here and denominator exactly same. They'll cancel. This n plus 1, this n plus 1 will cancel. You will get ak into hk, hn plus 1 minus k is ab. Okay. So generally they prove like this only. So this is a standard property, but they'll find this one, they'll find this one, they prove this. But it is true for k equal to 1 also, 2 also, 3 also. Why it's coming like that? So one time I was thinking about it, then I got this idea of taking reciprocal, multiplying with AB, and then proving this and that AP are same, corresponding terms are same, and we are able to prove. Okay, so same proof that is kth arithmetic mean and n plus 1 minus kth harmonic mean product is AB. Okay, this is another way to prove. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us see. I'll discuss something about harmonic progression a little bit and come back. I want to talk about inserting harmonic means. You take y equal to 1 by x curve. Okay. Between A and B, let us say you want to insert n harmonic means and you want to know where they are. Okay. You take A's image here, that is, this will be 1 by A, and B's image will be 1 by B. Okay. So between 1 by A and 1 by B, draw equal lines. All lines at equal space. Then did you insert n arithmetic means between 1 by A and 1 by B?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take their reciprocals back. Okay. Then you will get harmonic means between A and B. Is it all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Should I take only 1 by x, or if I take 2 by x or 3 by x, anything will happen? I don't think no problem, I
Sir,
guess.
anything is same.
Yeah, because you are taking x, okay. You are making unequal parts, but doesn't matter. I think all will reach the same place. Okay. So even if I take some k by x, okay, and let us say I want to insert only 3. Draw this, take 3 equal pieces, and again find it. Okay. Of course, these are equal, but these are necessarily not equal. Surely, if you draw, so it is not need not be 1 by x. Okay. This can be y equal to 1 by x or y equal to any k by x. No problem. Okay, this is, I did not discuss about arithmetic means or harmonic means here. I was talking about only inserting harmonic means n between A and B is, you can see here, it is as good as whatever we are doing algebraically. I just want to show graphically what is happening. I also want to show that why they are not equally placed. Let us see. Let us take 1 by x graph. I hope this is a proper 1 by x graph. If I take 3 equal distances exactly, now let us take 4. You can see all are somewhat equal, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when these are equally spaced, don't think their images will be equally placed. You see that. It looks like this is more longer.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, the more I come down, you can see that more graphically. Let us see that. Because 1 by x will tend to infinity, you can see that more clear. Let's say I'll take something here and here and here and here. These are all equally placed, let us say. You can see here it is gap is more. Okay. That means when you are inserting harmonic means, I think there will be more towards this than this. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
That is provided you are crossing 1. What if you are in this region? Then it may not be. Or maybe, still maybe, I think. Yeah, even if I take 3, 4 equal numbers and draw, yeah, you can see this is less and this is more. If you actually draw properly, you can get a feel of that. Okay. So harmonic means are not equally spaced. They're more biased towards A than B. Okay, we can see that. More biased towards a smaller number. I don't know, geometric mean, if somebody want to see graphically. Anybody have any idea? Geometric mean how to see graphically?
Sir, a power x graph you have to.
Should we take a power x graph, or I was thinking log x graph?
Sorry, not a power x, sir. Means a power r. AR power x graph.
No, A and R.
Log x graph.
Log x will give, I think. Okay.
Log x.
Log x will give where
The midpoint will be on.
Yeah, you're right. So we have to take this, the midpoints x coordinate and the corresponding y coordinates. If I take, if these are in GP, these will be in AP, I think. Yeah, that we know obviously. So if these are in GP, these are in AP. Yeah, so here you take equally placed and come back, you will get GP. That's good. Yes. So just take the log x graph and draw some lines which are equally spaced. These are all in AP. And when you draw corresponding things here, you will get like this. These all will be in GP. Or you take any a power x graph. Here you take numbers are in equal space and take their images. They will be in GP. And you can see how they're placed. Okay. That is about GP part. But still, I want to, any a power x is okay, we'll get. Similarly, there any 1 by x is okay, 2 by x, k by x is okay. Now let us see what happens here carefully. This is the graph of y equal to AB by x I want to take. Y equal to AB by x. And take A here and B here. I want to insert n harmonic means H1, H2, H3, so on. Okay. So draw this here, draw this here. A it will be B, and for B it will be A, right? If I draw n equal lines here, these numbers are they in AP or HP?
AP.
AP, right? And when you take their images, okay, these numbers will be in HP. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So let us take this is H1, this is H2, this is H3, this is H4, this is H5, so on. If this is H1, what is this will be AB by H1, and what is this will be AB by H2, and what is this will be AB by H3, so on. Okay, but all these numbers are in AP. Between A and B, if you insert an arithmetic means there should be this only. So actually this should be capital A1, this should be capital A2, A3, A4 and AN. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
You can see now AB by H1 is same as AN. AB by H1 is equal to nth. So you are able to see nth harmonic mean. Okay. First harmonic mean, when you find its image, it became nth arithmetic mean. You can see that with respect to this curve. I purposely chose AB. I can choose any k I can choose there, k by x. I chose AB so that you can get A here and B here for that reason only. Okay. You can also see this one is what? H2's image, which should be AB by H2. But according to arithmetic means, this should be the last but one, which is n minus 1. So you will get AB by H2 is same as A n minus 1. And we proved the same thing. H1 into AN is AB, H2 into AN minus 1 is AB. Is it clear? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we discussed three methods for proving this, that kth arithmetic mean and n plus 1 minus kth harmonic mean. The product is always first number plus last number. All this is if between A and B and arithmetic means are inserted and harmonic means are inserted. One method we have seen is algebraically rearranging things. This method is from the graph. One more method is really finding kth arithmetic mean and n plus 1 minus kth harmonic mean and multiplying directly. Okay. We may use that property only in few questions, but I think these explanations gave you a better idea or a graphical picture of what are the arithmetic means and all that. Okay, so nothing more about, just a minute. So we discussed about harmonic progression definition. Okay, one single harmonic mean when it is inserted, I have to discuss what it is, just a small thing. And this is nothing great. I have to discuss about AGP now. Okay, single arithmetic harmonic mean. Let us say A, H, and B are in HP. Then you say H is the harmonic mean of A and B. Then 1 by A, 1 by H, and 1 by B are in AP. Okay. then 1 by h is equal to 1 by a plus 1 by b. Sorry, 2 times 1 by h. H, if we simplify, you'll get 2ab by a plus b. Okay. So when you have only two numbers and in Vietnam you take only one number such that it is arithmetic mean, arithmetic progression, formula is a plus b by 2. If you keep only one number between a and b such that it is a GP, that is called geometric mean, it is root ab. Between a and b, keep only one number such a way that the whole thing is in harmonic progression. That one number is called single harmonic mean or just harmonic mean between a and b. Formula is 2ab by a plus b. And you are going to study in inequalities Monday, that how arithmetic mean is greater than geometric mean greater than harmonic mean. And we are going to do some questions based on that in inequalities topic. Okay, AGP is a very important topic, especially for mains exam. Quite regularly, you can see a set of questions on AGP, lot of questions. In that also there are finite AGP and infinite AGP. Okay, of course, AGP is a word just used arithmetic or geometric progression. What actually it means is you take one AP and one GP, multiply the corresponding terms. First term product, second term product, third term product. You will get a new series. It is called AGP. All right. How to find sum of n terms and then sum of infinite terms. Sum of infinite terms is easy. Both for sum of n terms or sum of infinite terms, I prefer, you can remember, if you are able to remember the formula, remember it and use it. But what I don't remember any formula, then I don't try to remember. I'll use the process or the method. What is that? First of all, what is AGP? I have A into common ratio R, A plus D into R square, A plus 2D into R cube. I don't have to write anything here. Here I can write R, here I can write R square, and A plus 3D into R cube, so on. You can see all these first into one you can write if you want. All these numbers are in AP. All these numbers are in GP. Okay, so they took A plus D, A plus 2D and so on. 1 R, R square, R cube, so on. This AP, this AP, these two product is this, these two product is this, these two product is this. That is called AGP. Now, one may say, why you did not take first time for GP? No problem. You take L, let us say, okay, and write that L here. It is not going to make any difference because I can give this L to here also. I can take this L inside. I can take this L inside. I can take this L inside and say AP first time is not AL, and the common difference is not D, it is DL. So in that way, it is covered. Okay, all possible AGPs are covered. In this, it is not necessary to take that L. How we found sum of n terms of a GP? We are going to use the same process here. That is, multiply with the common ratio and then subtract. So let us take a general AGP sum S is equal to A into R, A plus D into R square, A plus 2D into R cube. The last term will be A plus n minus 1 into D into R power n minus 1. And the previous to that, A plus n minus 2 into D R power n minus 2. These are n terms of an AGP. How to find their sum? Multiply with the common ratio and subtract. First of all, here I should take only A into 1 is better. Here R square, and the last time is good. Okay. Now when I multiply with R, this will be AR, this will be A plus D into R square, and this will be A plus 2D into R cube. This is A plus n minus 2 into D into R power n minus 1 and A plus n minus 1 into D R power n. When I subtract these two, I'll get here S minus RS. And here I want to subtract diagonally like this. First term, I'll keep it as it is. From this term, when I remove this term, I'll get dr. From this term, when I remove this, I'll get dr square. From this, if it is, I would have written it and subtracted this, I would have got dr cube. From this, when I remove this, dr power n minus 2. From this, if I remove this, dr power n minus 1. And this is dr power n. Oh, no, sorry. This I am not subtracting, I have to write this as it is. Minus a plus n minus 1 into d into r power n. So when you subtract the first term, you kept as it is, the last term as it is, that is a minus. Other terms you can subtract it. So actually these are n terms. So these are only n minus 1 terms now. Including this, these are n terms, but I remove this one. So it should be n minus 1 terms. So whenever you take AGP, multiply the common ratio of that AGP and subtract from the original series, you'll always end up with a GP. AGP becomes GP. Sometimes this first term also may go into that, sometimes it may not go. So if I take as common, it is 1 minus r, this is E. This is a GP with n minus 1 terms with first term dr, common ratio r only. So dr into 1 minus r power n minus 1 because it is sum of n minus 1 terms by 1 minus r minus a plus n minus 1 into d into r power. Okay. Now divide with this 1 minus r, you will get a by 1 minus r plus dr into 1 minus r power n minus 1 by 1 minus r whole square minus a plus n minus 1 into d into r power n by 1 minus r. So if at all sum of n terms of a AGP, if somebody wants a formula, it is this. But every time carefully remembering this, putting the values, better I every time multiply the common ratio, subtract and see carefully what the last time and do this process. I prefer doing the process, but somebody wants to remember, you can remember. Okay, I should just mention that that in the beginning, we are deriving all this formula when common ratio is not 1. If common ratio is also 1, it is not an AGP, it will become AP itself. Am I right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. Then we don't need this formula, we can use AP. Okay. But now, if mod R is less than 1, and also common ratio is not 0, then S infinity, the sum of infinity terms is nothing but limit n tends to infinity Sn. When n is becoming infinity, a number less than 1 or between minus 1 to 1 power infinity, this will be 0. And this will be 0 into anything will be 0. So what will be left is a by 1 minus r plus this part is 0, but this 1 is still there. Only this will tend to 0. And here this will tend to 0. So 0 into anything is 0. Here this is left, will be left with dr by 1 minus r whole square. Okay, even this formula generally I don't remember, but at least it is easier than this formula. If somebody wants to remember only for infinite AGP, you can remember this. Okay. If somebody wants to write, you can write. It's good because at least you'll remember the process and all that. If we don't want to write, it's okay, but at least try to understand. Any doubt, please ask. In past year mains questions, quite a few questions will be there where you have to use the process or remember the formula. I prefer some questions you can use the formula and do it. Some questions you use the process and do it so that you will know both. Those who like to do process, at least few questions you do by formulas. Those who want to use the formulas, at least few questions you do by this process. Okay, I'm going to erase. Anybody needs time to understand or copy? No. Okay. Sorry, I think we should go to barber, get a haircut. Nothing will happen.
Ah, sir, I'll get this way.
Why to carry so much burden on our head? Not on Sarup, anybody, I did not see all the videos, but boys especially if you did not get a haircut, try to get a good haircut. Yeah, so now we have some formulas which all of you know. Sigma n, sum of n natural numbers is 1 plus 2 plus 3 so on up to n is n into n plus 1 by 2. I don't know to derive it, it is an AP formula only. There was the series and add, it will come. Okay. Sigma n square, of course, generally we say anything that you learn in these 2 years, you should know with the proper proof and explanation and logic. There are few things in the beginning we learn the proof and later on we don't even bother and it is not required anywhere. For example, are you going to anywhere use sin a plus b? Formula is sin a cos b plus cos a sin with a derivation. Are we going to use in any question?
No.
No.
Okay. So there is a certain importance to first time when you are learning, you have to know the proof. Okay. Some of them, if you know the proof properly, you know when to apply what are the conditions are. Some of them it doesn't matter, just you have to know the formula. That is more important than the derivation overall. For example, very simple point, all of you know sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. And there may be some simple proof. Now whether you remember or not doesn't matter. We just use it that sum of the angles of a triangle is 180, like that. Okay. Like that sigma n square, I can give you some idea how this is derived, but it may not matter so much. It's important to remember the formula and use it. N into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. And sigma n cube is n square into n plus 1 whole square by 4. Sigma n power 4, n power 5 is not going to not required for any question as such. But how all these are derived? That is one way. I'm not saying there is a unique way to derive. There may be many ways. I really want to make some videos where graphically explain some proofs for this. Like I said, for odd numbers, sum of n odd numbers, why it is n square, and why this is coming square of this. Also, we can give some explanation actually. Sigma n cube, why is same as sigma n whole square. And we're coming to this. You take n plus 1 whole cube formula. It is n cube plus 3n square plus 3n plus 1. Bring this n cube this side, or can you put k also if you want in the beginning. So k plus 1 whole cube minus k cube is 3k square plus 3k plus 1. Now put k equal to 0 in the beginning. You will get 1 cube minus 0 cube. No, put k equal to 1 only. You will get 2 cube minus 1 cube is 3 into 1 square plus 3 into 1 plus 1. Then put k equal to 2. We'll get 3 cube minus 2 cube is equal to 3 into 2 square plus 3 into 2 plus 1. You can put k equal to 0 also. What happens? 1 cube minus 0 cube is 3 into 0 whole square plus 3 into 0 plus 1. What is the big deal? Okay, this is 1 cube minus 0 cube. So I kept k equal to 0, k equal to 1, k equal to 2, k equal to 3. Finally, when I put k equal to n, I'll get n plus 1 whole cube minus n cube is 3 into n square plus 3 into n plus 1. When you add all these things, here everything will cancel. Okay, you'll be left with only n plus 1 whole cube. Here you will get 3 times 0 square, anyway forget, 1 square plus 2 square is 1 up to n square. This is our question, sigma n square. When I add all these things, you'll get 3 times sigma n. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is how many times? N plus 1 times, because we have 0 to n. It will be n plus 1 times. If you keep only n times, no problem, you'll get a minus 1 here, not a big difference. Now, you know this value already, this value, sigma n formula, n plus 1. Bring this side, you'll get sigma n square formula. Right? If you are interested in sigma n cube, you have to take k plus 1 whole power 4 is equal to k power 4 plus 3k cube, what is 4k cube, 6k square plus 4k plus 1 binomial theorem. Bring k power 4 this side, add like this, and sigma n and sigma n square formulas is substituted, then you'll get sigma n cube. Like that, you can also derive other things. So this is some idea. But otherwise, for us, I think formula is more important than this derivation. Anyway, you are not writing subjective exam, so you don't have to worry about the proof, or not that any question conceptually involves the proof of this also, not. Okay, of course, and the sum of n odd numbers is n square. 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 so on up to 2n minus 1. Sum of n odd numbers is n square. Okay, these are some formulas here. There will be some questions where they will give Tn. From that, you have to find Sn. So you'll write Sn equal to sigma Tn and use this kind of formulas and find answer. Right? Okay, that are these 3 formulas here, and we gave sigma r power 4 here, but not required anywhere. So you can just see the synopsis later on. Okay, if you want, what is the formula? So just 1 or 2 small points. Method of differences is telling the questions is better than just telling the theory. The theory is very simple, that if you have T1 plus T2 plus T3 so on up to Tn, if you can somehow find a function kind of thing or some other series where let us say V1, V2, V3 so on up to Vn is another series, or it's a function. If you are able to write T1 as V1 minus V0, T2 as V2 minus V1, T3 as V3 minus V2, or in general Tk, you can write it as Vk minus Vk minus 1. If you are able to write, you can even also write f of k minus f of k minus 1. If you are able to write kth term as a function of k minus same function of k minus 1, when you replace everything with the corresponding terms of that type, Vn minus 1, all will cancel except the first negative term and the last positive term. Answer will be Vn minus V0. But identifying that V, in some questions it is easier and some questions it will be little difficult. Actually, if you identified this as good as you got the answer only almost. You know why? Final answer is Vn only, na? X minus a number, right? If somebody is able to guess Vk, is after all guess, you already got the answer right there itself. But the thing is, when you replace k with k minus 1 in this, when you subtract, you are getting this. Okay. So here the main problem in method of difference is how to get idea of what is this Vk, or how to write each one as difference of two things. Okay. That is only with the help of the question. So only theory is useless for this method of differences. And one last thing we already discussed in the beginning, that Tn I can write Sn minus 1, but provided n is greater than or equal to 2. You cannot do for T1, because sometimes if you do T1 S1 minus S0 may not be 0. Okay, there may be 0th term, which we did not see in the sequence. Okay.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Voice is not audible. Okay. What about others?
Oh, wait, now it is audible, sir. Before it breaks.
Okay. Anytime any problem, tell me, because I don't know whether Bluetooth if charging is getting over or something. I mean, I will not know myself. Okay. So this is an important point. Sometimes some questions you may not get answered because of the small thing here. Tn is Sn minus 1 only true for n greater than or equal to 2, not for n equal to 1. Because S0 may have some value. Okay. Otherwise, it's a very simple thing because Sn means T1 plus T2 plus T3 so on up to Tn. Sn minus 1 means T1 plus T2 plus T3 so on up to Tn minus 1. Here also Tn minus 1 is there. When I subtract, this bunch and this bunch will get be cancelled. We will get Tn. This minus this is Tn. Another point, generally we don't use in the questions, but it can be used. I'll tell you where it can be used. Is sigma a to b f of x, no, f of n. Basically, f of n, 1 minute. K equal to a to k equal to b, f of k is a question, let us say. Basically, you want f of a, let's say a and b are integers. These are like, let us say, this is 1 and this is n. You want f of 1 plus f of 2 plus f of 3 so on up to f of n. So that is some question. And I'm writing a and b. It also can be written as sigma k equal to a to b, f of a plus b minus k. If you replace k with a plus b minus k, there will not be any change. This is like integration. You have integral a to b f of x dx equal to integral a to b f of a plus b minus x. But it appears like that, but that explanation, this explanation is somewhat different. So there we can see by areas also in the integration. Here why it is very easy. When you put k equal to a, your first term is f of a, and when you put k equal to b, last time is f of b, in between every integer. If this is 5 and this is 20, f of 5 plus f of 6, so on up to f of 20. Here when you put a, first you will get f of b, last you will get f of a. It is like this is f of 20, this is f of 5 and everything in between. So just to reverse the series. Now one may say, where is that we are going to use this? Okay, let us say I have a question, sigma t into n minus t whole power 4, or let us say whole cube, let us say. I should have given some other question. It's okay. Okay, let us say t equal to 1 to n minus 1 or something is the question. Okay, let us take n plus 1 minus t whole cube or whole square. T equal to 1 to t equal to n. That means they gave a series. When I found nth term, I got this, and sigma nth term is Sn. Okay. If I want to find this, I have to expand this and then multiply, and I'll get sigma t square, sigma t cube. Let me use the formula. I can replace t with n plus 1 minus t. Then what happens? Sigma t equal to 1 to n. This t will become n plus 1 minus t, and this will become t square. Right? Now it is relatively simple, where I can take this into this separately, this into this separately. I'll get n plus 1 into sigma t square formula minus sigma t cube. Use this formula, simplify, you'll get the answer. Okay, I'm sure you have done this in integration also. Integral 0 to 1, if I have x into 1 minus x whole power 99 dx, this integration is quite lengthy. If it is the indefinite integration, also quite lengthy. But now replace x with 1 minus x, what will happen? This will become 1 minus x, this will become x power 99. Integration of this is easier, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because you get x power 99 minus x power 100 this split into two questions. But if you expand this by binomial theorem, you'll get 100 terms. Of course, if it is some other limit, there is no way. If it is 0 to 2, you cannot do anything about it. Even if you do this, something complicated will come. But with 0 to 1, it was easier, right? Okay, like that. Sometimes we may use it very rarely, not that often. Okay. So some of the things I told theory, but only theory is not sufficient. When you do questions based on the sigma n square, sigma n cube, some series will be given. You have to find nth term and expand it, and then find sigma of that and substitute these formulas, and you have to simplify. Okay, through the questions, maybe I think we can learn something there. Okay, this is the overall theory of the progressions till the last. Okay, so you can go ahead and do your past year mains question. We'll continue doing advanced material. We'll continue Monday. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ending the class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.